Welcome to episode 2 of Monster Sketch Theater. Today's monster is an alien creature found on the mysterious planet X. The idea for this creature started when I read that researchers at Caltech had found mathematical evidence of a planet X deep in the solar system. It hasn't actually been discovered yet, and there is debate in the scientific community about whether it exists at all, but I love the idea, so let's run with it. Planet X is supposedly a Neptune-sized planet that orbits our sun in a highly elongated orbit far beyond Pluto. It could have a mass 10 times that of Earth. The article also suggests that it may take between 10 and 20,000 years to make a full orbit around the sun. So the possibility of this mysterious planet got me thinking about what kind of monstrous wildlife could be inhabiting it. Most likely, Planet X is just a frozen wasteland with no way to support life. Perhaps though, Planet X has a large moon or two, and as these moons orbit the Planet X, they create tidal forces which deform the body of the planet, generating internal friction and heating up its interior. Kind of like Jupiter's effect on Europa. Maybe that would be enough for Planet X to host liquid water. After all, water is one of the most critical ingredients for life. So much so that NASA's strategy when searching for extraterrestrial life is follow the water. If that isn't enough though, maybe Planet X has a molten core as well. This molten core could create hydrothermal vents that could help with the building blocks for life, as well as heat energy, like the ones we have here on Earth. Together, maybe that would be enough for Planet X to have evolved life. Okay, I'm certainly not an astrophysicist, and the science here is probably completely wrong, but it's fun to imagine a way for life to exist on a planet. This alien monstrosity is going to be aquatic in nature. I wanted to make it seem a little bit more intelligent than a fish, so I tried to include some humanoid aspects to it, mainly a torso and arms. It's kind of like a vague interpretation of a merman. There isn't much light in this habitat, so it doesn't rely solely on vision. It uses other sensory organs to deal with its dark world. Here on Earth we have animals that use rather unique means of gathering information too. Sharks, for example, have a complex electrosensory system that's enabled by receptors covering the head and snout area. These receptors are called ampullae of Lorenzini. Apparently these tiny pores are extremely sensitive and can detect the faintest of electric fields, like the electric impulses responsible for the heartbeat of its unsuspecting prey that's only moments away from being viciously torn apart and consumed. My first thought when deciding on a color for this guy was to make it without any skin pigment at all. It spends most of his life in the dark, so there wouldn't be much need for it, but I decided it would be more fun with color. I went with this yellow mustardy color to make it stand out from the bluish background. I know the blue background doesn't feel very alien, but I wanted to keep the light more on the white side. If I tinted the light with a color, like maybe the microbes emitted a green light, it would overpower all the local color on the creature. And I thought because this image was more about seeing the monster than selling the alien world, I decided to light the scene in a way that would reflect this. This creature, referred to here by its common name, the murderfish, is a voracious eater. It was named due to its extremely aggressive, violent nature. It's definitely a predator high on the food chain, though it's not at the top. As formidable as it is, there are much larger and scarier creatures lurking in this world, so it'll have to keep an eye out for danger as much as it does for food. Like nature here on Earth, all life on Planet X is just a split second from ending in a violent death. Being that our alien monster's habitat is underneath miles of ice and so far from the sun, I needed to think of a different light source where this image would just consist of specks of light on a black background. So I had the idea it could be lit up by large colonies of bioluminescent microbes that gather at certain times. Maybe these mass gatherings could reach a couple hundred miles wide. When these events occur, they create an oasis of light for the inhabitants of this world. Kind of like certain parts of Africa during the dry season. The dwindling water forces the animals close together. They hang around the last remaining water sources until the wet season returns. so these colonies of bioluminescent microbes could somehow be connected to the life cycles of these creatures. But more importantly, it gives me a great excuse to light the scene so we can actually see what it looks like. I was thinking the large loop-like structure on its back could be used as a way of impressing the ladies, similar to the way earthly animals use their horns and feathers. Maybe it grows throughout their lifetime, so the other murder fish would easily know who the alpha is. And because this world is dark a lot of the time, it could be used as a way to communicate by flashing with some sort of bioluminescence. When it isn't lit up with bioluminescence, like now, I thought it would be neat to make it feel fleshy and indicate a little bit of subsurface scattering as the light makes its way through the structure from behind. I'm not sure I really pulled the effect off, but that was the idea behind the attempt. I was thinking when it did light up, it would be an intense red light, just to reinforce the idea that this creature is really dangerous. Alright, we're finished with the murderfish. It's now ready to go about its day tormenting all the other wildlife in this deadly and mysterious planet. Perhaps one day, when Planet X's orbit comes back into our neighborhood, we'll be able to discover all the real monstrosities lurking there. Until next time.